right.
What's up, man? All right, JP, Clutch, man. Dude's talking in a London black cab, man. Well, welcome, dude. I'm glad to be hanging out with you here.
Yeah.
Our first dudes session here at the Download Key. It's my very first time over here.
Awesome. Well, I think you're getting a good taste of what a typical download is like. It's always fun, but it's a little wet.
Man, you know what? It's massive here. I was walking around JP and seeing, like, there's a lot of metal fans and people are diehard. I mean, I knew that they were really diehard here in Europe. I've been to Hellfest one time before. I think were you playing Hellfest?
Maybe we'll hung at Hell. Yeah, we've done Hellfest
3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think I saw you guys there.
Yeah.
But man, the bands here get really insane.
Yeah, very passionate about the music. So much that they're willing to come out here and hang out all weekend in the rain. But I think that's a testament to rock and roll and heavy metal. I mean, it's like a very tight-knit community of people.
And Clutch, man, you guys haven't missed a beat, JP. You guys have, throughout all these years, all these decades, I mean, it's pretty cool that you guys are consistent.
Thank you.
Doesn't it feel good?
Of course.
There's a lot of bands that take time off, that don't tour as much, but you guys are of the people.
Well, we don't give up, man.
Yeah.
We keep doing this thing. I mean, this is a blessing, man. This is an incredible way to make a living and hang out with my friends and come and play kick-ass festivals and see cool bands, and I mean, we enjoy every minute of it.
I mean, where'd you grow up in
Maryland,
right?
Yeah, just outside of Washington D.C. and that was a cool place to grow up because we kind of there was the Washington D.C. scene, which consisted of a few different factions, and then there was the Baltimore scene as well. So we used to go to shows both in D.C. and in Baltimore, and there was all kinds of stuff going on between the Discord stuff in Washington D.C. Maryland has a doom metal scene there too. Bands like The Obsessed and Wretched, Asylum, Unorthodox, Pentagram.
Yeah.
And then Baltimore had a bunch of punk rock bands too. So it was a really cool place to grow up, and it was a great place to start a band because it was easy to go up and down the coast. So I remember in the very early days, I'm talking about like 1991. We used to go up to Pennsylvania. For us that was a big deal, but it wasn't anything. It was an hour and a half up the road, or we could run down to Richmond,
New York and New Jersey
City.
too.
Yeah, it's all really close. So it was a really great place for us, and us coming out of the hardcore scene made it easy for us to get shows, because although I don't think we sounded like a hardcore band like the other bands out there, the hardcore scene itself was a really it was an active place, and it was easy to trade shows with a lot of other bands.
You guys had some moments in Clutch's history. I mean, where the catalog, there's some heavy there's some heavy songs.
Yeah. We try to do a little bit of everything, I mean, the heavy stuff was something that we were attracted to very early on. I remember going to see bands like Prong and the Melvins, Morbid Angel.
Yeah, I remember, and then there was an EP that I got. I started in college radio in '95 in Tucson, and there was an EP I got. There was Clutch live with Max Cavalera.
Yes.
At the time, Sepultura. Now he's in Soulfly. I know you guys are friends, but he sang on a Shogun named Marcus live version.
Yeah, he did.
We still play that today on Liquid Metal.
Is that right?
Version. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Such a great tour for us. Such an incredible band to be able to spend time with. And not only that, their crew was really great to us too. Coming up, we were just kids, man. We didn't know and they really took us under their wings and took care of us. And I really enjoyed those times.
I remember the first time I saw Clutch, JP. It was Clutch and Slayer, System of a Down. It was at a country country music venue in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw System, and then Clutch. That was, I think, one of the times I really remember seeing you guys. And that was a great tour with Slayer.
Such a cool tour.
Yeah.
So great. Such a diverse selection of music, and another tour too where there was just a lot of camaraderie there, and people used to say, "Oh man, you're going to open for Slayer. That's going to be tough. They're going to boo you and whatever." And I got to tell you the truth, man. We just went up there and we just played our asses off, and I think the people appreciated it. And it was kind of like that for us in the early days. We played with all kinds of bands: Marilyn Manson, Pantera.
Clutch is very accepted among all the different rock genres. very loved and accepted.
Yeah, I think we're lucky that way, and maybe it has something to do with the fact that we sort of take a little bit from all the musics, you know, and sort of mix them together.
What did you think, JP, when you saw System of a Down on that first tour?
I thought they were wild. You know, I had not seen a band like that before. I remember getting a cassette demo.
Yes, I remember the single you were passing out. I remember that.
Yeah.
I have that too. It had Sugar on there.
Yeah.
And it had Sweet Pea, I think, on the other side.
Such a cool band, and I enjoyed them. I had no idea that they would take off to be the worldwide phenomenon that they ended up being. But just really great memories of watching them and hanging with those dudes early on. You know, this is great, man. I love it, and I think that's one of my favorite things, being able to run into some of these guys over and over again. I just saw the Opeth guys. You know,
I love Opeth.
Spent a lot of
oh, that's
time
right.
touring.
You guys did a big tour. Yeah.
So it's nice, man.
When you first started playing the drums, it wasn't metal really that was the key factor in making you pick up drumsticks.
You know, there's a lot of different things. Metal was certainly a part of it. Hardcore was certainly a part of it.
You were more into like great musicianship, jazz.
Absolutely. I very early on I had an appreciation for really the history of the instrument. You know, and I think that's important for all the drummers out there. Just dig a little bit, man. Check out the guys that came before you. You know, and I love guys like Dave Lombardo.
Oh my God, I love Dave. He does so much crazy man. He's so good.
But you know, I think one of the cool things about him is that you watch him, and he's not just a metal drummer. He's a drummer, man. He's bringing music, and that was what always attracted me to my favorite drummers. Were drummers that were not necessarily associated with the genre, but associated with the instrument. You know, another one of my favorite drummers is Elvin Jones. And Elvin Jones is probably best known for playing with John Coltrane.
Oh, okay, there you go. My sister named her son after John Coltrane.
Is that right?
Yeah, Coltrane. Arturo's his name.
Nice,
cool.
Nice. But I think one of the interesting things about Elvin is that, you know, although he was considered a jazz drummer, I think his contribution to the instrument was much bigger than that. You know, it really kind of revolutionized the way people looked at drums. You know, so from Elvin Jones, you got guys like Ginger Baker, you got guys like Mitch Mitchell, then Bill Ward, and so there's really a lineage there, and I think it would do all the drummers good just to dig a little bit, man. Check out stuff, you know, see where your favorite drummers came from, because I guarantee that their roots go a little deeper than you think they do, and for me it just makes drumming more fun.
Are you still learning?
Of course.
How do you video sessions, YouTube stuff? I mean, how does JP from Clutch, super famous drummer, how do you learn?
Last night I spent a lot of time listening to Art Blakey. I've been listening to him quite a bit. He was an important drummer in that he came out of the sort of bebop swing scene, and he really pushed the envelope of what drums did for a band. You know, it went from being strictly just a timekeeping instrument to something that was a little bit more interactive and a little bit more upfront. So I've been listening to a lot of him. I love YouTube. Man, I'll just go on YouTube and I'll just put in paradiddle, you know, and then all of a sudden all these videos come up, and so many of them are just, some of them are like kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're young kids.
Yeah, you know,
doing this stuff.
Yeah, and so you can learn.
That's gotta like inspire you too.
Absolutely, man. I love it. You know, it's something that you know, it's what keeps me going.
What's next for Clutch, JP?
Well, we're gonna go out in the States with Kill Switch Engage.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I like that.
We had not toured with them before. That'll be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be another one of those things where the fans are just gonna be. I mean, you just blend well. Clutch blends well with any drink, any food.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Good. Thank you.
So Kill Switch, Clutch tour, and then last album came out last year. You guys put out a new song, Evil, which is awesome. New video.
Yep. We'll be doing that this afternoon up here on the big boy stage.
Yeah, I love that. And then after the Clutch Kill Switch tour,
then we're going to go out with Dropkick Murphys in the fall.
Oh, that's the Hatebreed one too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hatebreed's on that one.
Oh, so that's another good mix.
Yeah.
See, this is cool how we're mixing it up a little bit more, man. Opening it up and saying, hey, come to the party. Everyone's welcome. It's not just about one genre. I love it, man. I love that we're expanding our man.
Yeah.
And what about any hobbies? John Paul? Besides,
Sure, I just got my tomatoes in the garden.
Oh, gardener.
Before I left. Yeah.
There you go.
My wife and I love to do that.
You got gnomes in your garden?
We do. We got a couple of
Oh,
gnomes.
cool. Do you
Yeah,
have a
man.
Ronnie James Dio one?
We don't. I should get one.
Yeah,
That'd be
you
rad.
should, dude. Come on. I mean, that's just a click away on the internet, man. Come
Man,
on.
I got to get one of those.
We got to get John Paul, freaking Ronnie James Dio gnome. So, what do you like? Tomatoes?
Yeah, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers,
Jalapenos?
squash, jalapenos.
You grow
going on.
jalapenos too?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
that's so smart, dude.
Yeah, man.
I need to start doing that.
Yeah, it's great. Habaneros we do.
Oh.
A variety, you know.
Good,
You know,
dude.
the interesting thing is that each year is a little different. You know, some peppers will do a little better than others. We always do a few different varieties of tomatoes, and so some years the tomatoes do better than others. So you never know what you're going to get.
That's so cool. And you still live out in the Maryland area?
In Maryland, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, dude. Hey, JP, well, it's been cool, dude.
Yes, bro.
Dude's
Thank
talking truck, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Clutch on stage tonight here at the Download UK Fest. And hey, man, JP from Clutch.
Yeah.